All right, y'all. Nah, I fucked up. All right, y'all, we back. This is our third segment and final segment. So we wanted to make sure we brought it back home because the goal of this episode was to inform the youth and those who may be in the position that these two gentlemen were in to understand that, one, they can get through it, or two, they can completely avoid it altogether because there are other options besides what y'all doing. You know, I feel like the biggest struggle we have in our community is always reaching for drugs or sports. Like, it's like that's the two things we think we can only make it. And I understand why. You know, we can't act like racism has not played a big role in the predicament a lot of us are in. Not having the resources and things like that. But, again, there is a choice, and we all make our choices. And I know you said earlier you wanted to speak on how prison doesn't even offer the resources. And it's crazy you say that because I can remember a time, because my mom did time, even my grandmother did time. Wow. But they had resources. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember even back in the day, we could bring cakes and things to the jail and talk. And then it was like, well, what you doing in here? And it's like, oh, I'm at school, or I'm going to the church, or I'm doing this, or, you know, I'm learning carpentry. I'm like some type of trade. Right. Because I guess back then the goal was once these people got out, they wanted them to become contributing members of society. But like you said earlier, and even in my profession, I've noticed that those resources aren't really there no more.
Right. I mean, Jada said it, and I'm just going to say this one little piece. No, hell no. Jada said it.
Kiss. Okay.
Kiss. He was like, they said they stopped letting niggas get degrees in prison. Boom. That was a piece right there. And then, I mean, tell them what type of resources we had, though.
I mean, nothing. If you're not interested in bettering yourself as a human being in prison, you're not going to do it. Basically, there's nothing available for you. There's no resources when you come home. There's no housing resources. You basically have to get it on your own. And if you don't have a network to support you, then you need to make it happen when you come home.
Yeah, because it's like, yo, they put you in these, alright, so, and this is realistic, you go to prison, your last year and a half, maybe, right? Yeah. Am I correct? They put you in this re-entry program.
Maybe. Your last 6 months, maybe. If they have the staff, they might put you in your last 6 months.
Yeah, and the shit that they tapping in on has nothing to do with real life. Nothing. It has zero.
Really?
And I know
what they talk about.
So they're talking about. So they call it the re-entry program, re-entry into society, right? They might do a couple of. They might if they have the resources to do a job fair or something of that nature.
If that.
But more or less, it's just them getting a check. It's like, yeah, right. We gon'. Well, where I was at Baskinville, not at Baskinville. When I was at Coffeewood, it was they had the name of it. They had a re-entry program. But they had a re-entry program that you could sign up for to be OSHA certified, right? Mm-hmm. Guess what I did? I took the class. Mm-hmm. I passed the class. I then in turn became a teacher aide because, never mind. But I became a teacher aide. Right. And fast forward when I got out, guess what that certification held for? 0. They was like, nigga, we don't respect this. That's like taking a practice driver's license test online and going to buy a car and get behind the wheel of a car. Like, nah, I passed the test online. They like, nigga, this shit ain't valid. And so they don't give you the proper tools that you need to quote unquote. And they stress that, like, it's to the point that they make you do these programs. If you choose or opt to not do these programs, it will push your release date back.
Bro, fuck all that. Listen, Department of Corrections, y'all need to educate niggas on how to use social media, how to use their money to invest, and all that type of shit. Like, niggas is coming home late. Like, y'all not teaching niggas nothing. At the end of the day, like,
Come on, man.
niggas is barely getting their GED. Department of Corrections, tighten the fuck up.
Yo,
So hold on.
Like, nah, for real, they not teaching niggas nothing,
Because
bro.
how long was your bid?
I did 7
Not
years.
teaching nothing. I did 10.
10. So when did you come on?
I came on 2019.
I came on 2022.
So was the world completely different? Because you mentioned something. You said the social media thing, and I can imagine the. Y'all ever see Shawshank Redemption?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember when the old man was scared to go? I think he went home and then
That's
he ended up killing himself.
Yeah.
And at the time when I was a kid, I didn't understand. I'm like, yo, you came home. Like, I don't get it.
Free.
But the world was so different for him.
You gotta understand, like, it doesn't even have to take that long. On Shawshank Redemption, the old man, I forgot his name. He had been down for, what, 30, 40 years?
Yeah, he did some time.
I like to use myself as an example. I did 10 years. When I came home, I didn't know how to use the iPhone. I didn't have an iPhone before I got locked up. Before I got locked up, Instagram was new.
Me too.
My little sister had to teach me how to use Instagram.
Yeah, I had to be taught something simple as before when I went away, like something as simple as how to fucking dress.
Yeah.
And I know it may seem like it's minimal or it doesn't matter, but when I went away, True Religion was popping. But baggy True Religion. Not the skinny jeans. 7 jeans. Nigga, what's the store? Filene's Basement was still open.
They still had changes.
When I went away. You understand what I'm saying? So something as small as that, and it was just like, yo, it was such a shock. It was like, and you don't have no time if you come home as an adult. You have no time to like really sit back and adjust and peep what's going on. You got to get straight to it.
Hey, Tony.
And adjust as you go.
Hey, listen, I done ran into some young dudes that didn't know how to write a check. That's
a lot, yeah.
I done had young dudes ask me what a digit was. Because they done did so much time.
Oh, shit.
As juveniles.
Yeah, it just be so fucked up. Like, yo, and this is a true bill, like he just said. Like, yo, without a support system or somebody, it could be a family or a homeboy that's there for you, that's in your corner to walk you through the steps, like teaching your kid how to ride a bike. That's what it is. It's learning how to ride a bike again and really disconnect from what you just experienced. When he came home, by that time I had been home for 2 years already. So he like, yo, cause you remember, cause in jail, and I'm like, my nigga, yes, that is a part of your life story.
Yeah.
But let's
focus
not
on that.
reflect and talk on that. We not locked up no more, my nigga, but I also had 2 years, his senior, of being home and kinda, and I didn't even have it all together then after 2 years, believe it or not. Like, you would think people would be like, because if that was me,
Can't say
after
that.
2 years,
Can't
I
say
would have
that.
been got back on my feet. No, the fuck you wouldn't.
Hey, yo.
If you
Listen.
ain't never been
Hey, bro.
predicted.
Bro, listen.
No,
Yo.
you wouldn't.
I just came home from doing 10 years. I'm still trying to get my life together. Listen, let me tell y'all something. Do y'all know how hard it is to get something simple as assembling your wardrobe after 10 years of not coming home to no clothes? How hard that is? And you got to take care of kids and pay bills? Like, do your homework. So if you don't have to take that road, don't do it. Because it's much harder than being out here and having to establish yourself.
You know what? And that's crazy that you even say that, because laws have changed in Maryland. You know, I see gun case after gun case after gun case. And it's like, bro, if y'all would take the time to just, like you said, educate yourself. Like, prime example. This is the smartest shit I ever heard. A drug dealer once said, this was on, what's the nigga that was on 90 in New York, the DJ?
Master Flex?
Yeah, remember he was doing the segments where he talked to the old drug dealers?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he was talking to this one particular guy. He was like, yo, I only used to carry 5 years worth of work on me because I knew that's the only time I could do. Anything past 5 years, I was telling. And
What?
Yeah.
That's nuts, but okay.
But
That's to say that.
But
It's enough.
yeah, but still though, but that's him knowing
But
himself.
He kept it in
He kept it a band, though.
Yeah. But he was like, yo, when they called
Did he
me,
really keep it a band?
right, I mean, but no, when they called him, that's what he got. 5 years. He was like, yo, I did that purposefully because I knew anything past that I wouldn't be able to do.
I respect that, but I wouldn't respect that.
No, I get what you're saying. But at the same time, it's just like, that's him knowing himself.
Right.
In the sense, like, yo, I know I can't do passes. But in my mind, I thought it was just interesting the fact that he took the time to go educate himself. Again, to people that decide to go the route, whatever route you go, at least the least thing you could do is educate yourself, because education can be the reason why you might not do time. It could be the reason why you might not do a long stretch of time. Or if you know yourself enough to say, you know what, I don't want to even be in jail. Let me not do this. After you educate yourself and see what you're looking at potentially, you might not even want to be in the streets no more.
So picture this though, at 18, and I'm gonna keep it real short, and this should apply to a lot of young niggas because it's real. It just so happens I caught my case in Virginia. Imagine being 18, right? And you got 21 misdemeanors. This is my story. I got 21 misdemeanors, 7 felonies going to trial. Mm-hmm. Right? This is what I got on my table. Right? I didn't know at 18 about having lawyer money and shit like that. I heard it in rap songs, but I didn't think it applied to me. Mm-hmm. Right? So my mother got me a lawyer. She did do that part, but he was a bullshit ass lawyer. We didn't know that at the time. My charges carried up to 50 years. That's a fact. No cap, KYON, Yusef, Smith, right? I take a plea at 18 to serve 2.5 years with indefinite probation.
So.
At 18, I know what the word indefinite means, but I'm like, I ain't gonna never get in trouble again. So I'm good, because this is a life lesson. But these are the choices that because it's either I don't want to go to prison, or I want to do the least amount of time that I can do. So I took a plea at 18 for 2.5 years with indefinite probation. Indefinite.
It's a trap.
So this is the shit.
Explain that. What is that?
It's a trap. Indefinite means if I sneeze too wrong, so with probation, any police contact is
at minimum. Okay, yeah.
I'm on indefinite probation right now.
Indefinite probation is any police contact is a violation of your probation. Right. If you move and don't let your PO know that you moved, right, and she found out that you moved and you didn't tell her, nigga, it's a violation.
If you change your phone number and you don't tell her,
it's a violation of your probation.
I'm gonna tell y'all an interesting story, and it's crazy that y'all even bring this up. The dude, right? He parks in a handicapped spot. So it's a guy that's arguing with him about it because he doesn't appear to look handicapped. But if you have a handicap sticker, you know certain things can reward you to have. He had something with his hip, but looking at him, you wouldn't know.
Right.
So the dude, he's on probation. The dude follows him into the store, literally everywhere. The guy's like, mind you, he an old head too. He like probably at this point in his life, he probably like 45, maybe 50. He like, look, I don't want no problems. Like, I don't want no problems. So he goes about his way. Dude keeps following. So at some point in the market, they get to a point where it's nothing but meat behind him. Right. So the only way he can go is this way. But the dude is right here. So he like, look, man, I don't want no problems. Dude like, nah, you gonna have some problems. Homeboy swang on him. I don't know if that man was holding on frustration from all these years or whatever. But this 45-year-old man whooped this nigga like, bro, when they showed the pictures, I was like, ain't no way. I'm talking about, oh my God. You talking about black and blue, bro?
Yo, but because...
But listen, hold on, before you talk. Davis wants to send him to jail because they say he violated his probation. But I'm like, what do you do in that? What do you do? Exactly. So they was like, oh, you should have called the police.
You gotta, when you got probation over your head.
I thought that shit was crazy.
When you got probation over your head.
The judge was lenient, I ain't gonna hold you, but I still thought it was crazy.
You basically gotta be a bitch in the street to any and everyone who cross your path when you on probation. Cause it's like, a smart individual is gonna say, you know what, this gonna violate my probation. But a man and or a woman will say, nah, fuck that. I'm being violated, so I have to react. And then you pay for the consequences later.
But let me say this, and this is just a thought process I'm having now as I'm hearing your story. I think the people that are judging us and that create these laws don't understand the conditions we come from.
They don't.
They don't.
At all.
For me,
Zero.
I remember my first experience as far as like having to defend myself. You know, I was in second grade. It was what's that shit when you bring your toy to school? Show and tell.
Yeah.
Kid, rest in peace, Adam. Adam asked to hold my toy. Yo, here you go. He gave me some toy. But in city schools, you got to wear the clear book bag, so no bullshit.
They was training you for prison then.
Right. So look, he's running out
That's deep.
it's dismissal, and I see my Blue Ranger. Literally, my Blue Ranger is like this with his hand out, like, but he's in his backpack. But to me, it was like help, like
Right.
Get me.
yeah, like so I chase him down.
That was
right.
Yo, what?
With his toy story.
I chase him down. Right? We get this, we squabbling, we scrapping, we doing whatever you want to call it. From that moment on, every situation that I encountered with another black male, I always approach aggressive. You get what I'm saying? Because at this point, I don't know who my friends or who my friends aren't at this point. I feel like other races don't deal with that. So when you do become a man, and let's say you are a man with a felony, you are dealing with a situation where you have to, if you're going back, especially if you're going back to an environment that conditions you to become that way, how do you then just say, I'm not going to, like you said, you got to act as if
nothing happened.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got to act like you're just the chillest person.
But the instinct of a black man is not going to let you allow that.
Exactly.
It's not. It never is. And I'm not.
So that's what you say. It's a trap. It's a trap.
It's a trap. And I'm just speaking on, like you said, like you have reiterated, like as a black man, and I'm not looking for no sympathy. Like my plight is different from any other race. You understand what I'm saying? Like the cards is already stacked against us as a whole. I don't care if you was a law-abiding citizen. It just is, but it's just now publicized that that's what it is. You know, I'm fed stepping out my door.
Oh shit, your mic on. Your mic out
Yeah,
on.
well,
He good. Our mics will pick up his vocals.
But I'm fed just stepping out my door. They don't know that I live in a house and I do drop-offs and pick-up lines, taking my kids to school.
Right.
It's what I'm perceived as. You understand what I'm saying? Even when I was doing wrong, you still judging me, and you don't know me as a whole. But I don't know you, right?
Right. But look, check this out though. For them not to assume automatically that you don't have kids that you have responsibilities for, just like they do, is a problem. Why would they look at you and be like, yo, he got kids he got to pick up, just like they do? Why don't they assume that? Just like they assume just for another man.
Yo, but
you understand?
It's like one of them things, like, as a man, and
that's fucked up.
Unfortunately, I made my choices that I made.
Right.
And this is just keeping it a beam, like, I sent myself to prison. Granted, however I got there may be because a nigga told or whatever. That doesn't matter. In turn,
yeah, you played the game and you lost.
I played the game and I lost.
That's it.
But that has nothing to do with nothing. When I step outside my front door as a law-abiding citizen now,
right,
drop-off lines, pick-up lines, taking my kids to school, whatever, what I'm perceived as. And let's just say you a nigga on probation. Nigga. Man, nigga, whatever, Negro, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
I'm on probation. You can be a good human being, but you gotta be
humble,
a better and humble human being.
Thanks.
Because of your circumstances. And that's bullshit. Mm-hmm. That's super duper bullshit. That I gotta be that extra better human being.
Because I made a mistake.
Because I made a mistake. I fucked up. I fucked up. When you was younger, you fucked up. You got beaten. You got put on punishment. And that was that. Now, as an adult, you fuck up, you go to jail, right? You go to jail. And I'm not saying prison isn't meant for some people. It is. Not saying that I didn't deserve to go to prison, but I did. But now I got to be a better human being than what I was.
But again, and you're absolutely right. I completely agree with you because our decisions, like I said earlier, when you make the choice to play the game, like I tell all the young people that I talk to that are in the position when they're in court or, you know, I have a conversation with, like, yo, when you play this game, whatever game you decide to play, know the rules that come with this game. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Because that's going to help you win or not win as much as whatever. But anyway, my point is, to me, it still feels like a setup. Because how do you... Okay, for you to even begin to play the game, that means that something... You was deprived of something. Whether it be education, family, opportunities, whatever it is, you were deprived of something.
Right.
I agree.
I don't care if even if... Yeah, I know a couple people that came... And I know the situation I mentioned earlier, that was completely different. But I know people who come from two-parent homes where they struggling every day. You get what I'm saying? So... That decision to step into, you get what I'm saying, that street life was made due to the I guess you say the obstacles they kept coming into. Because as kid, you was 19, whenever you did what you did, you was 17,
18.
But 18, I'm sorry. But still being that young, you don't understand the concept of time.
For real.
When I say that, I mean, you don't understand that. If you focused on, imagine you would have went to school for 3 years.
But you want to hear something fucked up?
Go ahead.
When I was 13, 14, unfortunately, my parents was already preparing me for prison by putting me on punishment for the whole summer and locking me in my room. So I was already ready.
I mean, yeah.
When I went to the hole, I was already mentally ready for that.
Can I play devil's advocate with that, right? Mm-hmm. And this is towards parenting. You have children, I do too. Mm-hmm. Nobody's a perfect
parent.
At all.
You freestyling every day. You take some shit from your childhood and apply it to your child's childhood and revamp it a little bit. So to say that, I'm not going to say that it's inaccurate, but it's unfair to your parents. Because my parents have done some shit that I was like, yeah, you know what, y'all are fucking.
It doesn't. But
I'm not saying that it was inaccurate.
I'm not saying that they were wrong for that. Mm-hmm. So I need to clear up what I'm saying. I'm not saying that it's wrong, but it's like, they wasn't preparing you for that.
No, I'm saying in hindsight, by them locking me in my room, not to elaborate on this.
It mentally trained you.
It mentally trained me.
Okay, cool. And I'll recant my statement.
Right. That's all I was saying.
But again, like you said earlier, it's no manual that comes with parenting, and trauma is just trauma. Like, that's one thing that blows me about life. Like, as much as I love my son, I know I can't protect them from everything, and they're going to experience some type of trauma along the lines that's just going to alter whatever. Like, Adrian is such a free spirit. He's one of the saddest moments
I ever had. We was at, what's the place where the kids jump at?
Like
jump
Sky Zone.
Sky Zone. So we at Sky Zone. We at Sky Zone, and this little kid falls into the pit, like a 3-year-old. At this time, Adrian's like 5, and Adrian was like, "Oh, I'm gonna save him." Jumped in, boom. And I'm just like, "Damn, that's my son."
Right.
But then the thought process crossed my mind, like, somebody's gonna fuck him over because of how good of a person he is, and that shit, like, I don't know, for a moment that shit just kind of fucked with me.
And that comes from your own trauma.
So
exactly.
Can I tap into that?
Go ahead.
So my first bid and my second bid, right? Yo, you know what hurt the most, yo? I promise you. Both times, my mother, my dad, less emotional person. Yeah. Yo, it hurt me so bad. It hurt me so bad to know that, but fuck that. Let's just speak about the second bid. When I got sentenced to that 7 years, my mother wasn't even in the courtroom. My mother said, there's no way that I'm going to come to court and watch you go away. It hurt me that she wasn't there because I just needed the, not mental, but visual support. Right. And nobody was in the courtroom for me when I got sentenced to my 10 years. Nobody. Nobody, not a familiar face. It was a bunch of people that I didn't know.
Same here.
And you know why she didn't come to court? And I found that out later, like 3 years into my bid. She's like, Keon, I just couldn't see you in that predicament and know that there was nothing that I can do for you. I was in court for every bit of 22 minutes. And I say every bit of like I'm paraphrasing, like I don't know. No, I was in court for 22 minutes. And I was called a menace to society. The lady told me, a black lady told me, which was my prosecutor, told me I was a menace to society. And when she thinks of Baltimore, Maryland, she heard sirens, gunshots, and all types of violence. And I got on that stand and told the people, for the first time in my life, on the stand, I told the truth, thinking that it would resonate with these people. I was in court for 22 minutes to get sentenced to 10 years because they didn't give a fuck about nothing that I had to say.
They don't give a fuck.
Nah,
Yeah,
they try to go home.
They said,
that's not even that.
They said, Keon, you're remanded to the state
money.
Department of Correction for 10 years. And guess who was sitting behind me? I heard a white man behind me. There's no funny shit. He was like, what the fuck? They know who that white man was. Guess who that white man was? The head of probation and parole. He was even confused. But that's how little they care about you. And in turn, sent back to the county jail where I had been sitting at for like a year, paying $3 a day to be in prison. So if you sent me $20 and I owe $6, they taking they $6 off the top and I get the remainder of the money. Because I'm paying $3 a day.
It's a racket.
To be in jail. A place that I don't want to be. That shit is fucked up. To in turn come home and be a good person. That shit weird, bro. That shit weird, yo. And I'm not a scarred individual, but that shit just weird, bro. It's weird, Lo. That's why I'm on your ass. Pause. The way I am, like, nigga, you gonna be a good person, cause nigga, I'm doing the best I can to be a good person. And you wouldn't know the shit about me unless I told you. Nobody looks at me and be like, yeah, he been in prison. Nothing about me says prison. I'm fun loving. I'm happy.
It's the total opposite for me. They be like, yo, nigga, you did time.
I'm gonna keep it a bean. You don't give me prison though, bro.
Word? I appreciate that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought,
you feel me?
That comes from a lot of females though. They be like, yo, nigga, I could tell you just came from jail.
No, like, you feel me? You don't give me that vibe.
I appreciate
it. You get what I'm saying? Because he told me what we were coming here to talk about. Okay. But other than that, you feel me? You don't. I come from Boston. You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, so it's regular.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying?
He's just a hood nigga in a sense.
You get what I'm saying?
I know him, so I see the prison in him because we was in the same spot together. This ain't a nigga that I met randomly.
Right. All right, look, because the camera's rolling, we about to be done. Right. Anything y'all messages y'all want to give to the people out there? Go ahead, look into them cameras.
Basically, man, listen. Anybody who's in the street that feel like that's their only option, it's not. It's a million ways to get money. The simplest way you can think to make money, do it. Whether it's cooking, being on a YouTube influencer, Instagram influencer, do that shit. Whatever your passion is, do that shit because you can make money off it. Don't sell drugs because there's no money in it no more and you're going to go to jail. I'm just giving it to you, bro.
Me, piggyback off of him, like, yeah, bro, like, pursue your real passion, yo. If you put your all into it, you can make it. And all that ain't nobody trying to help me shit, that shit is an excuse. You got to make your own terms and make it happen for yourself. If ain't nobody going to help you, nobody going to help you. You got to help yourself, bro. And when you help yourself and people see it, you'll be all right.
For real. If you don't believe in yourself, ain't nobody going to believe in you.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all for tapping in. We'll be back in a few weeks. I think I got the next episode will be with two people who work into the